Okay, that's a little cutscene there. I'll get into pretty much my last couple tells here. Just as a side note to that tell, and that will work. It's hard to catch. It's hard to use, like I said, because they got to act quickly after you got to notice it right away. But good players will do it. I would say 7, maybe even 8 out of 10 players. I actually do it sometimes against when I know my target is 4 or 5 players. That I've actually gotten people to take back their bets. A handful of times by doing that. If he's on this side of me, I'm sitting here like this. I'm almost showing this half of the table in my hand. I'm like, I don't care if they see it. I thought you were about to call. I'm ready to show you that I got a full house. It's not going to happen. So use that tell wisely. It's very helpful. The last couple other tells are facial expressions. All these ones, I haven't really categorized them into like eye tells, mouth tells, facial expressions, things they're doing with their hands, their body posture. I haven't categorized them like that. Hopefully you guys kind of know or kind of understood where they come from. Most of these tells, a lot of them come from the eyes. A lot of them's body posture and what they're doing with their hands, I would say, is the second most, if not the most. Maybe eyes are second. But, there's a lot, like, with the eyes, like I said, where they're looking off at the flop or they're looking at their chips if they have a good hand. So, eyes are one of the most important, and also just body posture. Just try and notice that certain movements are random. Don't always try and put, this category A to category B. He could just be doing some weird things. But if you start seeing repetitive behaviors and start seeing tells in your opponent, you got to pick up on some of the stuff that I said. And I'll really help you, make the correct calls or reassure your call to where you're sitting here, 55% sure you have the right hand. You see that right there. Boom. Your percentage is probably bumped up to 80. That's a huge tell if you catch it right. And like I said, 25th time, do not try and cheat and act fake like you're going in. That's very Bush League, as they would say. So next couple tells are bluffing tells. Has to do with facial expression. Bluff number 1, that's pretty obvious. I would say only maybe 3 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10 players do it, biting their lip. Anyone who's relatively advanced, like a 6 or 7, if you think they're pretty good, 6 or 7 out of 10. I hope you guys kind of understand these numbers. Like a 10 is a pro, like an 8 or a 9 would be someone who's won some decent money at this. Maybe he's trying to go pro, maybe he's still young. I would classify myself as maybe a low 7, high 6. So if you can somehow kind of gauge how good you think I am just by watching these videos or whatever. That would kind of tell you the kind of person. So I would be a person that you could probably fool with biting your lip, because I think, or you could only, I wouldn't buy that because I would notice it. But if you were playing against a 4 or 5, someone might actually, I would see it as too obvious. Biting the lip is one of the most obvious. Like, you just look you're like, kind of like chattering your teeth a little bit. It's just really obvious, especially some people try and over-exaggerate it. That's what you'll be able to tell when you're playing against amateur players and not so great players. They'll always overact because they really don't think people pay that much attention to them. But if you're paying as close attention as I'm telling you to and what I do at the table, they don't need to be acting like they do. You can see the most subtle of tells. So when they're really overacting, that's when they're probably acting and Hollywooding their hand. So biting the lip's really easy to see for me. I buy into lip pursing quite a bit. It's been maybe 60-40. It's definitely been wrong sometimes, but usually lip pursing, just like tucking into the lips, is like that, kind of like a, just putting your bet in. Usually a bluff. Like I said, not the most sure of ones, but these can all reassure you too. This doesn't have to be a soul read that you say, because he pursed his lips, it's 100% bluff. This can be like, you have a decent hand, you might be beat, but there's a decent chance he's bluffing already. These can reassure you to increase that percentage, from 50% to 70%. It doesn't have to be either 0 or 100, because it's very hard to say exactly this guy's bluffing, this guy's not. I've only done it a handful of times, maybe, out of 10,000s of hands. But lip pursing, definitely one of them. And then the last one is any kind of, this is like a pro tip, kind of along with it. That's kind of pursing the lips and biting the lip. That's kind of nervousness. Self-soothing behavior is the term they use. Any kind of action that is helping that person kind of calm themselves down. When they're bluffing, people are usually pretty anxious. Like biting your lip is an anxious, kind of action. Lip pursing, kind of like, should I do this? It's kind of an anxious action. self-soothing behaviors. Anyone who's kind of going like this, rubbing their knees, rubbing their thighs, maybe itching the back of their neck, itching here. I don't know. I actually have an itch on my back. That's not a tell right there. Kind of like slightly. I mean, might look weird kind of here, but just like slightly touching their hand. Anything that looks like it would kind of try and calm somebody down, because that's what they're trying to do. They're not deceiving you there. That's just something, especially if I'm in a tournament for hundreds of dollars, and I have been before. Sometimes you can't exactly keep yourself all together when you're putting, if you're bluffing all in, which I did one time in that tournament. It was pretty early, but I figured I either needed to double up and take this pot with a bluff, and he fell for it. I was relatively calm, but I definitely was doing a self-soothing behavior. I was actually pretty much doing this, but like I said, they weren't super good. It was a small buy-in tournament, but I was pretty much just doing this, kind of like touching my arm, and after I thought about it, it made perfect sense. That person's just trying to kind of calm their body down. Is a bluff, especially a big bluff like what I was pulling all in for the tournament. It's hard to keep your nerves in sometimes, so they try and do something to kind of comfort themselves. So I think that's it, guys. That's at least all I have for right now. All that kind of came off. I made a small list, and kind of that came off the top of my head. There's still a couple videos that I haven't even posted yet that you'll get to see. So I might come up with some more tells if I remember any, if I see any really important ones on the internet. Again, I kind of put these all into one video. I don't claim, maybe 15 out of 20 tells, 15 out of 18 maybe. I didn't come up with, I learned them. I saw them in practice and I've used them, but they weren't mine. So I don't claim for these to be mine or anything. Don't say that. I'm just all branching into one video. I know this is long. I think I'm on like 38 minutes now. So this will be a part 3 because YouTube allows 15-minute increments. But I just kind of want to put it all into one video. If you guys watch this for 40 minutes, and if you watch this far, you know ton of tells. That's 90% of the tells at the level of 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, maybe a low 7 that players will give you, which I'm assuming the audience, if you guys are watching this far, if you're still interested, I would say you're in that range. So, and if you're still comprehending most of the stuff I'm saying. So, good luck using them. Hopefully they, tells and reads are a big thing in poker. If you've got a soul read on this guy and you think 100% he's bluffing, it can make you a call and make you double up through his chip stack. It's a big part of poker, and it's a part that a lot of people just exclude from their game and don't even try because they think, how can I possibly, this guy has 2 cards, they're face down, there's 52 possible, minus the 2 I have. There's 50 possible cards he can have. How can I possibly put him on a hand? But you can. If it's not a hand, it's a range of hands. You can always say, okay, he's 4-betting me pre-flop. He's probably got either a big ace or, a high pocket pair. That's just what you have to do. I'll definitely have a video about that. That's going to be a good video about, it'll include tight players and loose players and how they would bet pre-flop. Usually, like, tight players usually take like a 4 or 5 bet to go all in with pocket aces. Loose players, it could be like a 3 bet or something like that. So there's lots of different variations in certain hands that loose players play that tight players wouldn't, and vice versa. So watch out for that video. That's it for right now. That's all the tells I can come up with. I'll add a little cut clip if I find any more. So thanks for watching. Please like if you like the video. Comment on a topic you want to see next. I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. This is like topic 6 or 7. So there's a lot more to cover, but let me know if you want to know about a topic right now, and I can include it, or I can make it in the next series of videos. So as long as it's interesting and if it's a difficult concept to grasp, I can explain it to you guys. So let me know. Comment below if you liked the video or if you got a topic, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace. Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm back here. I actually haven't even been actually trying to make a video within at least the past 2 weeks. Maybe I've been really busy, doing other stuff, work and playing some tennis. But I'm gonna add a little bit to the tells videos. You can see I'm wearing a different shirt. This is 2 weeks later. I'm recording it, but you can see in the other ones I recorded, I was wearing that red shirt, whatever. Couple new things. I got a new chipset I ordered online. They're actually the nicest chips I've ever seen. They're definitely a lot better than my old ones. If you want to see a close-up of one, If you want to get any chips, I would definitely recommend this site. They're 13.5 gram chips, which are a little more durable, a little better than the average. It's usually 11.5. The other ones are 11.5. They feel good. They're sturdy. Obviously, the colors are cool, like I said. There's even, if you couldn't see, the chip denomination is actually on the chip, so it makes it really nice for if you're just playing kind of a get-together game with your friends where, some people aren't paying the most attention. People forget what color's which, so it's real nice. There are 5 chip denominations. Reds are 5, greens are 25, blues are 50, and browns are 100. But like I said, they have the chip denomination on there. They're really cool. They're kind of tricolored, solid black. Very sturdy chips, nothing wrong with them. I figured since they are a little heavier, they are a little harder to do chip tricks with. Since it's a little harder to bounce them in your hand, or same kind of like doing the shuffle as well. It's not quite as easy, but it's still possible to do the tricks with it. So yeah, I got a new chip set. I got a 500. It's a 500 set, and it actually comes appropriately stocked. You can't kind of see here. You get more of the less chips, see all the ones. There's 151s, 155s, 125s, 50s, and 50 100s. So you get more of the chips that are smaller amounts and less of the big ones, which is how it should be, because you're never going to need all the huge ones. Because, if you give somebody 5 100 chips, that's 500. It's going to be pointless playing with the ones, even if you give them a stack of 25, only 25 ones just isn't even worth having them, so you give people less of the higher chips, just basic common sense. But anyway, so yeah, I got it for 80. It was $80, 15 shipping, so $95, a 500 set, which is really all you should need in poker. This would be the starting stacks for what we're going to use at college, and you can play. Everybody can get this many chips with 9 players. You can play up to, and everybody can get this amount. So it's a good amount, a 500 set. So you can build decent stacks, and you can keep count really easy. Because if you ever get confused, like I said, the numbers are labeled on there. So you can see the greens are 25s.